Good evening, everybody. System Chalk here with the 15th episode of Cultist Simulator, the Exile run. Now, I will confess I had to take a little bit of a break between the last session and this one. It looks like I am still sending cash ahead to Paris. We've taken out a Reckoner corpse, so here's what I think I'm going to do. If I recall correctly, I was... I believe I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to do something with the years, sort of with the underworld and with the radicals and such. And I am inclined to do so. Now, I think it's 5 traces that I've got on the board here. Yes. So the real question kind of comes down to, like, okay, so the... How do I put this? The way that I want to... Sorry, I'm also sending off messages while I'm doing the set or the stream here, which I really shouldn't be doing. Okay, so the way I kind of see this working is... I want to get a return on the years that I've spent, because the last couple of times I've done this, I've used the connections, they've been burned for one reason or another, and like it doesn't really do that much for me. Now there's the possibility that somebody's going to be coming after my assets, at which point I want to throw these in front of someone. So there's the tricky business here of like, okay, do I want to just keep sending the money ahead to Paris and we keep those as an insurance policy? That's not necessarily a bad way of going about it, but it's very likely that I'm going to wind up facing Reckoners, and specifically the foe. And the thing is that the foe is going to be healing at roughly the rate that I am, and I have more wounds than my foe. So the fact of the matter is that if my foe shows up and I'm not done packing, I'm probably dead. I can try and give up a decade to heal in an emergency, but you know, the fact that they do 2 damage to me each time something goes wrong, this is not the place I really want to be fighting them. But yeah, I don't know, like... sorry, if you can just... I just got a quick message here. I need to double check. Okay, I shouldn't be bothered anymore. So yeah, basically the idea is that, like, it would be good for me to try and... So number one, I'd like to try and get a return for the... I would like to try and get a return for the years that I've spent. Second of all, these are helpful for getting rid of Reckoners who might be coming after me. And given the amount of cash that I need to bring in, like at 10 seconds each, I'm going to take like 4 or 5 minutes to actually move everything along. And of course, over that time, that might mean packing up my weapons, which means I'm even less capable of defending myself than I normally would be. On the other hand, I don't know, like, is there some sense in maybe trying to do another stand on my way out? Is there a sense in maybe, how do I put it? yeah, I don't know. Like, there's one argument that says burn these for the cash and get out of town. The other says keep a hold on these in order to protect myself against the Reckoners, and then yeah, we'll see. Okay. I've got a discreet office and a warehouse now. So I'm short on forge, I think. That's going to be the big problem for the operation. So maybe we wait for opportunities here. Okay, I'm going to let this tick by, and we'll maybe see what comes up as time goes by. There is a temptation to either betray the radicals or... Actually, you know what? Combining the radicals in the counterfeiting operation might do the trick. Okay. Might be a dumb move, but... Okay, so Forger Winter. Underworld connection still good, so I could also do the fight. One too many tracers, reckoners have followed me here. So I suppose the question is, like, if this is an assassin, I think we should feel pretty safe. If it's going after my assets, there may be a few more complications. We'll throw the knight in there just for the extra moth. Keep it running. There's that tingling sensation on the back of my neck. Someone is looking for me. Of course, this is generating more cash for me to stow away. Actually, the other thing I could be doing with the discreet office would be running with my medical. Well, no, if I do that, then I don't get as much money as if I was running a sanatorium, so I'm gonna leave that be. My pursuers, cautious or cowardly, are uncertain of their proof. They've done nothing yet. Oh, you know what? That didn't seem to do much. Oh, sorry, I should have read the text for that. But this is helpful, so we're going to take my longest-lived wound. As a reckoner, I've learned long ago to redirect life's sudden surges. And this is knock or lantern, so I don't think that's going to help us too much here. There is a small temptation to do the Fight Club. Nasty, but as long as I keep some years on hand, I shouldn't suffer too much permanent damage. Any failed challenges will result in a wound, which you won't be able to heal until the operation is complete. Edge aspect cards are often useful when competing in illegal fights. I think I'm gonna go for it here. This may not be the smartest move given where I'm at with my weapon. This is a long time to lock my edge in. But I have some ideas. I'm addressing the a challenge: illegal fights, boldness, or bribery. So we could have actually used Grail in this as well. This is good. This is good intel because I do have some Grail that I can throw at these problems as well. Okay, another discreet office. Not going to use it, but in fact, I'm tempted to sell the existing one because 2 heart doesn't really give me that much. Counterfeiting operation, increase production, or focus on deception. Keep it running. Increase production or pay off the troublemakers. Ooh. Right. I completely forgot about the forge side of this equation. I think I'm hooped. I can throw the guitar at it, but I don't have any other Grail. Yeah, no, I think I just need to accept that I'm gonna get hit by this. I guess I could spend the year to try... it doesn't say what I get from the Underworld connection. This is crazy, but I think this might actually do the trick. If we add another warehouse to the operation. And we get the Course of the Heart to boot. There we go. I'm addressing this challenge with Forge. It will increase effectiveness. So if our challenger is going to be going after my assets, I need to pursue the connection. Or illegal fights. I'll be ready. Who's next? So this is one nice thing about throwing my edge aspect at it. Okay, it's an assassin, so that's generally good news for me. This is the longest lived of them. So we're actually in a position where we might want to sort of take on the foe. The challenge is that without the underboss showing up, which is a considerably more difficult opponent, the assassin is moving against me. I don't really have that much else in terms of opportunities to stop them. So in this particular case, as a last resort, I'm going to put Lala in front of them. Subtlety wasn't a priority here. You've achieved 1 subtlety. There's a serious risk of trace. Good value for my years. Okay, so connection with the radicals is sort of quieted out. 5 cash for that. And I'm going to dispose of the warehouses when the time comes. A student of the invisible arts would no doubt pray to the Thunderskin just now. I know better. Palpable hit. I've struck and faded back into the city. 2 wounds will kill most reckoners. 4 wounds will kill an underboss. So I'm thinking at this point we don't really have any other options. fights. Who will be ready? I'll be ready. Who's next? Okay, so we go after them with Betty's Blade. My friend has lent me their protection. Addressing this challenge with Edge, it will increase effectiveness. So this didn't wound them, unfortunately. Hopefully Betty's blade does the trick. If not, I'm actually in a little bit of trouble. Palpable hit. I've struck and faded back into the city, so that's another vitality for me, which I can use to heal my wound. But only after we're done the Fight Club. The catch here is there's actually less reason for me to hang around at this point. Oh, sorry, that's not true. I want to hang around long enough to recover my edge, because we're going to be able to heal a wound pretty quickly off of that. Operation is complete. Subtlety wasn't my priority here. You've achieved one subtlety. There's a serious risk of trace. Good value for my years. Cash. You know what? I am going to make a stand. I've got a Reckoner corpse that I can throw into this. I'm gonna need to make some change. The foe's wounds are on their way to healing, but I'm on my way to healing as well. So what we need to do is last long enough to hold back the underboss. Or sorry, to get to the underboss and sort of hold them off. Pursuers, cautious or cowardly, are uncertain of their proof, and they have done nothing yet. I don't know how far I want to go with the connections, because obviously if this doesn't work the way that I want, that's a lot of years that I've just wasted. So I think I'm going to cool it with the radicals for now. We'll see what comes up. Okay, more traces are to be expected. Still getting cautious. I'm trying to think if there's something else that I can do to try and make this better for me. Being in a place with prayer would help. And at this point, we're pretty much on even footing with the foe. That tingling sensation on the back of my neck. Someone's looking for me. The more traces on the board, the more quickly your pursuers will be able to move against you. Reckoners have evidence that I'm here. They're summoning help to smoke me out. So, as it turns out, other than the possible waste with the underworld connections, this is actually not the worst way for me to have spent the time. I've healed up, so is the foe, unfortunately. But we've also gotten quite a bit of cash, and a lot of that is packed away on its way to Paris. So I could be a little bit better with the connections, depending on what I'm up against. If I'm up against an assassin, then it's, you know, whatever. Okay, so in this case, I don't think it's a bad idea to stack up some of these connections. They'll still be useful when the underboss comes up. Okay, Reckoner Operative's going after my assets. This could potentially kill them, which is a risk. But with the number of traces, I'm assuming the underboss is showing up soon. Now I am curious. Connection with radicals does help in this case. So in this case, the expenditure of years is essentially an investment on pushing back the pursuers. Now this is basically buying me time for them to call in the underboss. Okay, well, unfortunate, but I gotta protect my assets. I'm calling in a favor, and that operative is due for a nasty surprise. Okay, well, that's another vitality for me, basically. Thing is, I don't need the extra vitality. I was kind of investing for a fight, and now they're disappointing me. So do I accept... I guess the question is, do I accept the loss of... do I accept the loss? I guess in this case it's the 1 years, because everything else has sort of been dedicated. Yeah, it may not be a bad idea for me to skip town now, because like what else am I gonna do, right? It's not like I'm gonna use the Reckoner Corpse to, well, we'll see. I'm not really generating any more cash right now, so let's see how this goes. The thing is, at this current rate, it's going to take me half an hour to send all of my cash to Paris. This is the least efficient way of me doing this. I'm going to have to make a decision about this underworld connection. I think in this case I'm going to let it lapse just because I've got so many others. But I may come to regret this depending on what happens with the underboss. A lot of this really depends on how quickly an underboss can show up, and as you know, as a consequence, the foe. The other factor is if it's an assassin that shows up. So even the unstanchable wound is sort of a bit more temporary than I would normally want. I'm sorry that it's turned into a half hour of preparation, but obviously we're in a much better position than we were before. Fast forward on this one just so we can see the results. Okay. So, I'm going to have to invest a little bit in defending my assets. In fact, if the plan is... I'm going to have to put 2 in on this just because if the plan is to sort of make a stand, then I need more than 1. I've learned to listen to my instincts, and my instincts are telling me that someone's working against me. Okay. So again, this will probably kill them. So this, in its current form, doesn't really work for me, because I'm spending my years on things that are killing my pursuers. So to a certain extent, like, this is good in one way and not good in another. So given the fact that sort of on net I'm losing money, I think we leave for Paris at this point. Of course, it's inconvenient that we're packing all our weapons so early, but... My pursuers, cautious or cowardly, are uncertain of their proof. They've done nothing yet. Yeah, we made the right call there, because this would have... This probably would have meant that I wasted a lot of time. Four more cash, so we should actually be able to leave before... we should be able to leave before the Reckoner causes us any trouble. So put the radicals in just in case. Prepare to depart. Time to go. Have I forgotten anything? Farewell. Still have some Reckoner corpses, I just don't have any wounds to do anything with them. Tant Adeline's man is a surly, lanky fellow in a leather apron. He doesn't speak to me at all. He just sits there reading gobbets of raw meat, feeding gobbets of raw meat to his dogs, but he listens as I explain, and he motions to a huge Corsican to follow me when I leave. So the big problem here is that we did heal ourselves, but unfortunately there wasn't much for me to do with the foes. Essentially, we let the foe's unstanchable wound also sort of heal up. So, Tad Adelaide's men. Sorry, we got that. So, Underworld Connection is nice. I'm going to use this. We'll pick up our preparations first. We'll find a new location after, and then at the last possible second, I'm going to renew the Reckoner's Corpse because you never know with the vitality. If I run, I should run somewhere I have an old friend, or at least an old acquaintance. So basically, last possible second, then we put the Reckoner's Corpse in Relinquish. My victory. Certain techniques can only be articulated in an enemy's blood. Tavio Burton in London has put out word that he'd like my help. He's a scoundrel, but we go back a long way. Okay, well, we know what our next destination will be. We're going to start sending money to London right away. But we are going to try and make the most of Paris. So this year in the City of Lights, the socialists battle the communists. The metro grumbles, gaunt artists prowl bookshops on the other bank. Plus ça change. So the idea here, I don't actually have that much in terms of years anymore, but I am going to still try to convert them into, into something that I can work with. Probably the way to go here. So in one sense, like, it'd be nice to see if I can get more special weapons, but that really just comes from a reconnoiter. I may actually be willing at this point to maybe just be a little less careful with the traces, because I do sort of feel I'm in a position, like right now in terms of my position, I'm probably in a better spot to go after the foe, short of getting a new weapon. This is about as good as it's going to get, I think. One thing that would be really good, of course, would be if I can use those vitality to heal any wounds that the foe puts on me. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's not a great time for me to go mano a mano, but I don't know, 6 wounds versus 7 could be worse, right? But we'll see. In any case, I do need to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll do one more episode for tomorrow, which should be Friday, where we'll either make the most of Paris or we will make our stand. See you then.